Hello and welcome to PKRTV. On tonight's show, the final table of May's Sunday Open. From 604 runners, we're down to just 10. The favourite must be the UK's Marlin Man. He's looking to add to 2 primetime titles already in 2012. Joining me to find out if he can close it out is Team Pro Scott Shelley.
New hand.
Well, this is the biggest tournament, certainly in field size, on PKR on a Sunday night. And just over $3,000 for the winner. That will be a lifetime best on PKR for all of these guys, but Marlin Man, who we'll get to shortly. I've played Marlin Man live. He's a fine player. He qualified for the World Series with us this year. He would be my pick if everyone was even stacked.
Here's the flop.
But we might see someone say goodbye. A king would... Or a jack. Well, a jack, yeah, indeed, would do it. But no, a nice early double up. And there we go. We can see the Spaniard, JB Toro MC. And here is my man, Marlin Man. He's actually got $6,000 cash on PKR, second in the PKR 500. He's won a couple of prime times as well, so no stranger to a final table, and I hope we'll see some good moves from him.
Fold.
Yeah, I think this is the biggest prize pool on a Sunday, barring the 500 running.
Yep, that's right, pretty much. And 600 runners is no mean feat to get through that little lot. Ace-Queen opens for a min-raise.
Fold.
Chanticha flats in position and flops something. And we'll certainly figure there's a chance he's ahead right now, which we can see he is.
Yeah, without flopping a set, it's actually one of the better flops for a pair of eights.
Yep. And now a tricky spot for the Ace-Queen. Has to hope. Well, it's a very small C-bet, same size as the pre-flop raise.
I'm all in.
And no messing around from the Norwegian. Nothing the Ace-Queen can do. Stack size, not much else you can do there apart from shove. $120,000 he had behind.
I probably would have maybe shoved pre-flop. They started
with the eights?
Yeah, they started with about 20 bigs. But once they flat and see that flop, they should be shoving, yeah.
All right.
New hand.
Marlin Man second in chips. This guy, I can't remember what age he is, but certainly someone to look out for the future. He's got that kind of steely look in his eye that suggests he ain't to be messed with.
Fold.
Fold.
Here he is, late-ish position. He's got some chips. Says no.
Fold.
Must have had a crystal ball because the ace-jack moves in.
I'm going to call.
And a call from the ace-jack.
There you are.
Here comes
Good luck.
the flop.
Yeah, it's going to be a split. I guess JB Toro MC didn't want to shove to isolate in case he ran into some sort of monster.
Yeah, it depends on the stack sizes behind what you want to really do there.
Right.
I mean, you should never be folding to that shove in that spot with ace-jack.
Okay.
So it just depends if your players are quite shallow behind, you just shove to isolate.
Yeah.
If they're quite deep, you might want to flat just in case.
Okay.
They wake up with a monster and you can
Let's
get away from it.
Let's say Akula is behind him with virtually the same kind of stack and has been playing quite tight and does shove. Then you just have to sigh and pass for the 60k that you've put in and live to fight another day.
Yeah, I think
right?
you've got enough there to flat and pass to a shove for the same, as you said, the same sort of stack size.
Okay.
You're putting in about
Raise.
just over a 6 for your chips.
All right.
About 50 for your chips.
Well, the German Poker Monia opens to 25 with pocket eights. Monte Carlo Anna Welbeck's home game wins for her.
This is a tricky spot with a stack size, I think.
I raise.
Gone for the aggressive route.
Fold.
I'm going to fold.
Fold.
Yeah, from the 3 seat, he decides
Fold.
he wants to play. Desperately hoping for a fold here, presumably.
Fold.
Yeah, I mean, his hand looks a lot stronger than it is, so if he gets called or played back out, he's not going to be
I'm gonna
too
call.
excited about it.
Wow, he gets a call from the eights, who's only got 120 behind. That in itself is kind of strange.
All
Yeah.
in.
Shoves.
I call.
Here's the
Yeah, I can't blame him for making the call there. It's
He's only beaten by a bigger pair and a jack.
yeah, it's unlikely they got a bigger pair because of the way it was played, and it's unlikely they got a jack because surely they would check to the razor on the flop. So it sort of looks like maybe a diamond draw, or maybe it's like diamond draw, or maybe a smaller pair.
Yeah, that was the aggressive route for Marlin Man. I mean, he's not doing that on the value of the pocket sevens, really. Because what happens if he gets 4-bet shoved? Then he's sat there with sevens and he's like never going to be miles ahead in that spot.
He's never going to. He's going to be flipping at best.
Right.
Fold.
I fold.
Fold.
Strange one, but at least he snap called the flop. I guess he figured exactly what you figured there.
I mean, it depends on we don't know how the tables been playing. If the tables been playing really nitty,
Right.
and it happens to be the under the gun opener's pretty aggressive, then the free bet's quite nice there. I prefer it to flatten anyway, just because
All in.
flatten you're trying to set mine off like 25 bigs, 30 bigs, which isn't the best idea.
Here goes Akula, who won
Oh my God.
the Springfest Terminator, the opening event, a month before this. So a nice bit of form to bring in. And, leaving no chance for the opponent to do anything.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of this bet, just because you've got such a strong hand on that board. I mean, yeah, there's diamonds out there, but
Fold.
you're just not going to get called.
Yeah, and the flush draw knows that they are a significant dog and not really getting the right price. And even if they were, they might not really fancy it. Okay. Well, onwards we go. No bust out yet, but a couple of these guys on the morphine drip.
Big
Just in time. 3 bigs for Cyberdyne.
hand. Four.
Oh, yeah, all right.
It's going to be up to over 10 if he wins
I was
this.
rounding down.
Yeah.
Akula can afford it. And it's however tight they are, it is a short stack under the gun for 4 bigs.
But it's just that there's players behind and you've got less than 20 bigs. Yeah, I like the fold there.
Wow.
Fold.
I mean, if you're in a later position, the blinds, even the button, it's a call.
Fold.
Yep.
But
Queen's desperate for a call, and they might be thinking, oh, no, I'm just going to pick up the blinds here. But they do pick up a customer.
I mean, I know he's not folding now, but he should just be shoving rather than just
okay.
leaving 30k behind. I mean, it's...
Oh my God.
Well, Marlin Man, who was second in chips at the start of this final table, is taking a hit and gets out of the way.
Here's the flop.
And a
Club's covered by the queens.
wonderful spot for Cyberdyne, who more than doubles up. And, on the opposite end,
10 bigs
Karas
now.
Desiratis, who started off in a great spot too, is now in a big trouble. Another one we haven't seen yet, Babika, 9th place.
New hand.
Actually got a ton of results, but actually only the biggest one is a Gold Rush win, $1,600. But is a name we're familiar with, 15 wins, 134 final tables.
Fold.
Brooks, been snug so far.
Good spot here for that stack.
All in.
Getting it in. Marlin may well think that A7 is ahead of the Greek's range.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see him isolate. I mean, he's only playing about 15 bigs himself.
But it's close, isn't it? I mean, you could pass here and it's not going to be a bad pass.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the worst pass in the world, definitely not. I think it's a call more than it's a
I
pass.
fold. Here. You.
It's just unfortunate he's blocked up here.
Yeah, well, here's another 30 grand that looks to be leaving Marlin's stack.
6 or 4 would chop it, but no.
Well, a timely double up. And Marlin Man just continues to go down the leaderboard.
Yeah, hovering just above 10 bigs.
And, well, that's 4 or 5 times a short stack's been all in and doubled up. 10th place, a modest $181. And, of course, 3,300 up top.
That's a hand.
Chanticha, it certainly is. Looking for a tiny raise here.
Fold.
Fold.
Not that tiny, but still.
Fold.
Oh, dear.
All in.
Well,
Yeah.
he's got involved in hands where, you could have passed, but it shows that he wants to win, and things haven't gone his way, and certainly this looks like the end.
Yeah, I'm really unfortunate here for him.
Here it is.
call.
Stack size is not going to let him get away from his
The
10s.
flop.
Yeah, he's going to need major help.
Here comes
Nothing but a
the
10. Well, there we go. The end of Marlin Man in 10th place. He started in 2nd place and will have felt like he was the favourite. And instead of his 17th win on PKR, it is a forgettable 10th place.
Oh my God.
Yes. Oh well, he'll be back. 9 left, still the same kind of problem
Fold.
for these mid stacks. No one really wants to go out ninth,
Yeah.
and get too involved.
All in.
Yeah, you usually find when you get to the final table, it's really cagey at the start, just for people laddering up and trying to make some more money where the big pay jumps at.
Yeah, and get rid of a few of these shorties.
Looks like one's going now.
The river.
It does. There goes Babika in 9th for 227 for the Hungarian.
Okay, new
8
hand.
remain, $300 and upwards for the rest. And I know we show highlights of these final tables instead of real time. We'd be here all night. But actually this one, not massively deep stacked, the Sunday Open. And this final table, we'll probably see a lot of the action here, actually.
I fold.
Not a big fan of the race size. Don't mind the open, but it's massive.
Yeah, it is
Doesn't need
massive.
to be, especially with the stack size as you mentioned.
Yeah, we haven't seen a lot of people. I mean, we've seen the peel from pocket 8s, but that was kind of a unique hand.
Yeah.
We don't really see people looking to play flops here. He's thinking about it. He happens to be ahead, and actually, King Queen is probably the only hand that you'd end up being ahead against right now in this spot.
Not anymore.
He calls, and
Barring
well,
ace.
there we go.
Here's the river.
He wanted that card on a turn, it would have opened up the world.
Yeah, well, he was short-staffed for a little while over the last 10 minutes. Couldn't get a couple of double-ups and back into it, and Karastatiras is out for $302 in 8th place.
He won't be too upset about that. He ladded up a little bit
Yeah.
when he was short, so
They raise.
can't complain. Yeah, again, the race size is just too big. You're never going to get any action unless you just run into another big hand.
Yeah, well, and also,
I
I mean, we've
fold.
lost the most aggressive player at the table. It's
Oh.
difficult to see who's going to actually put some kind of like light raise in. I don't think anyone will at this table.
Yeah, he's worked out well for him here, though.
Yeah,
Found it, ace
There you
queen.
go.
Yeah, it's a cooler for Pokemonia.
Not looking
Here
good.
comes the river.
No ace, and that is another that falls by the wayside. Pokemonia 7th place, $415 for the German. And 6 remain. Who's going to win this? This seems to be going the way of the cards, really. No one's going to kind of wrestle this win.
Yeah, there's not been any suck outs. All the hands are holding.
Yeah. Shorty gets it in, Cyberdyne.
Yeah, can't blame him for making the shove on the button here.
Yeah. And that's a couple of big blinds call from the small. Brings in the big.
Here's the flop.
And the
Oh, it's
big,
unfortunate for him.
It certainly is.
I bet.
Especially that the other player's got one of his blockers for the straight. 3 outs.
Yeah, and King 8's in kind of bluff catching mode, presumably. Can't beat anything.
Yeah, and there's no side pot at the moment, is there?
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see if the Swiss chip leader can get away from this hand.
Read 'em and wait.
This is the
Pretty
river.
quick call
Yeah.
and nicely worked out. And he'll be
Yeah,
pleased
got
with
rid of
that.
that pretty quickly. I mean, he's right in thinking that surely with a player all in, he's only going to be betting with a hand better than King 8. So once you think about it that way, then yeah, it's a fold.
Yeah, Cyberdyne's gone. And a nice pass from the chip leader. Let's keep an eye on him. One result, a PKR Open win 2 years ago for 2,800. So a win here would be his best.
That's a better raise size.
I fold.
Decision here for pocket
I
twos.
fold.
Peel's out of position. First time we've seen it.
Here comes the flop.
Flops nothing, but is a favourite. Impossible to know.
And here's the turn card.
Wow. He decides to take a free card. I know it's kind of like a drawy board that has almost totally missed him, but still.
Okay, I bet.
Your opponent's range when they peel out of position isn't exactly lots of big aces, is it?
No, it's...
Well, he takes it down on the
Yeah,
turn.
he's taking the aggressive line when he's picked up even bigger draw now. But yeah, I would have liked to bet on the flop.
But even then, if you're up against perhaps a slightly more aggressive and creative opponent with the pocket twos, you check the flop and then you bet what seems like an innocuous turn. You could easily have got, I wouldn't have been surprised to see another player with the pocket twos put in a ray or just lead out the turn, really. Yeah. It's a perfect chance, but they didn't fancy it.
Looks like John Hennigan.
Think I'll raise.
Schultz got tons of chips, and this looks like the winner at this point.
All in.
Fold.
Yeah, especially if his hand holds here. He's going to be in great shape.
Yeah, Akula takes the opportunity, and this is the pot of the tournament so far.
Turn card.
King Jack, you can't blame the King Jack in a way. Oh, he hits. Wow, that's huge. That is huge.
No, you can't blame him for shoving, if that's what you're going to say. I mean,
yeah,
they're playing
against the chip lead,
five-handed.
right.
Chip leaders raise the button, and you're playing pretty shallow stack with King Jack. It's almost a given to shove.
Yeah. Yeah, and you figure your King Jacks could easily be live against a bunch of mid-pairs.
Yeah, there's only a few hands where you're going to be in
aces.
bad shape,
Yeah.
and that's really big hands usually.
Well, the chip leader holds there. He's got like a ridiculous lead, and this tournament's virtually over. But now he's back into the pack, and it's anyone's. You can see there he's gone up to 593 from 500, so he's active in between these hands that we're seeing.
I'm all in.
Brooks, nothing so far at this final table, picks up the big slick, and sometimes that is the way. We were talking beforehand. If you're so tight that you're, I suppose it's different. It's kind of different in a tournament, really. You want folds a lot of the time, don't you, in tournaments? But still, it's kind of frustrating when you pick up no hands for quite a long time, and then you get one and get no action. But then I suppose Ace King. How often do you want action with Ace King?
You got to give action to get action.
Indeed. It's kind of difficult late on in tournaments, isn't it? You can't really afford to give action in order to get action
New hand.
late on.
Yeah.
'Cause it's more about stealing late on.
Fold.
Well, now the Ace King
Thank God
goes
he
to the
is.
chip leader. Again, 3x.
Yeah, it's not necessary.
Yep.
Min raise is going to do exactly the same job and save you a third of the chips.
All in.
Fold.
Fold.
Well, Akula.
Yeah, I'm quite surprised at
Well,
this.
it's these two again. Akula moved in with the King Jack and
Yeah,
sucked out for a huge pot
King
against
Jack,
Schultz.
There it is.
he's got equity here. He's like, I don't think he's ever passing Schultz.
Well, it's 1, 2, 5 more, isn't it?
Yeah.
You're definitely calling here. So,
And like Jack 10 of Spades is those like a hand that flops well. It's never going to be ahead.
well, that's a 5th place for Akula, and really, you'd have to say that was an unnecessary 5th place
Yeah.
bust out.
Yeah, it was.
He was
unnecessary.
virtually joint chip leader.
I
After
can understand
the King
shoving
Jack.
the hand, but when
Right.
you're free bet shoving there, and when you've got no fold equity whatsoever, it's a bit too gambly for my liking. Good hand here to shove with.
Oh, yeah.
There we go.
Fold.
I call.
There you go.
Bit of a loose call here from the King 10, but they're flipping.
Flop.
Not anymore.
And here's the river.
Well, this is a decent chip lead for Schultz. Don't forget, of course, the Spaniard JB Toro MC came in as the chip leader, has not really put a foot wrong, and is still in there with a shout. Akula got 7-2-5
Fold.
for his 5th place.
Check.
Well,
Here's
limp from the small, big blind checks.
Bet.
That was kind of always going to happen, but this is a nice opportunity.
and all in.
Fold.
A free flop, and a nice one it turns out to be, and easy to play that hand. Chip leader decided to limp instead of put the pressure on, which is perhaps a little surprising.
Yeah, especially with a hand like 9-4. I mean, suited or not, it's not a hand that's going to flop tremendously well.
Okay, new hand.
Big hand here for JB.
Raise.
Fold.
Oh, could be off to the races here. In fact, we should be with that stack size.
All in.
Yeah,
Here we go.
yeah, pretty much the second hand that Brooks has played.
Yeah, he's picked his spots well though.
Good call.
Got down to four-handed in for a flip.
Let's see the flop.
He's
Great
ahead.
shape now.
Yeah,
Here comes
got
the
to dodge
river.
it. Yes, he does. Nice. And, well, now we can see it's pretty even. And Brooks 7890 don't have to play too many hands. He's stayed out of trouble, and he's got a fantastic chance now, the Brit.
Yeah, average is about 20 big, so it's anyone's game, as you said.
Brooks 7890 actually he's got more final tables than the rest of this lot combined. 150th final table, this. But no four-figure scores. And one more bust out, and that will be a four-figure score. Here he goes. Chunky raise. Can he lure his opponent into some sort of move?
I call.
Wow, the Jack Four of Spades makes the call.
The flop.
Uh-oh.
Oh dear, he's hit something. Or it might be oh dear for the Kings.
Yeah.
Surely we're getting this in now. Wow, it's dangerous though. I mean, you're on now. You know you've got no equity. He makes the call for half his stack.
Oh, my.
Wow, he gets there.
That's so sick.
Plays this in a strange way. Brooks hates this, but he gets it in because he has to follow up.
And here's
Sees the bad news. Dear, oh dear. And you know what? JB Toro MC could have got it in pre-flop as a kind of, as a total bluff, basically.
Yeah,
And got there. But the way he did it, calling pre-flop, calling half his stack on the flop, and then snap calling when
he
he
didn't
gets
deserve
there.
that pot, put it that way.
Wow. And that is now we have the new biggest pot of the tournament. Oh, dear, oh dear.
Yeah,
you
you
can
got to feel sorry for Brooks there.
you can feel very sorry indeed for him. And do you think, actually, let's forget the pre-flop call, which was certainly loose, would be a
Yeah.
polite way of putting it. You've got 260 left behind, and you're having to call 135 with nothing but an overcard and an open-ender.
An open end of it might not be good.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got the bottom end of it.
Here's the turn.
So when it does come 8, any 9 beats you.
So what do you... Well...
Here comes the river.
Yeah, there we go. And it's the end. It's a race for Brooks, and he loses it. And he's out in fourth, and he gets $982, but...
Deserve better.
Yeah, definitely deserve better there. And, JB Toro,
Two hands.
interesting hand there. He gets there. Incredible stroke of fortune.
Raise.
It's a big old raise from the button.
I'm going to call.
Here comes the flop.
Check.
Both of them with the flop. And I don't see how JB's going to call this, but you never know.
You do never know. Chan Teacher, another one who's just hung around there and picked up a few hands and made one or two moves. And
Okay,
three
new
left. $3,322. These guys have been playing for 7 hours now. Crucial part. This is where all the money is in the top 3.
Think I'll raise.
Oh, stop with the 3x.
Yeah.
Oh,
In.
wow.
Wow,
What a
unbelievable,
life.
unbelievable. How's the Jacks going to play it? That's the question. We know what the Kings is going to do.
I don't think you can pass.
Tank, Kings tanks, and then gets it in. And, he's got 702. It's your tournament. It is your tournament right here.
I don't think you can pass,
It's a
though.
massive raise. You have to have a lot of information on your Spanish opponent here.
There you go.
He passes. What a pass. What a pass.
Yeah, what a pass with the flop top set.
Oh, God.
It turned to... Oh, my God.
Oh, I tell you what.
That's so sick.
Wow. Well,
See, I mean, results orientated. Yeah, he's behind,
indeed. Well, I'm surprised.
but he's got like 20, 25 bigs.
I think he's closer than you think. We'll get back to that. But Chen Teacher, third place, not a bad performance at all. $1,284 for third place for the Norwegian.
I think the
And,
Kings can have a bunch of hands there that the Jacks are beating.
I raise.
Obviously,
Well,
it looks really strong, but
Yeah.
All in.
Okay. Sometimes I am surprised to hear you talk about these things in that way. I know the way that you're thinking about it is in the long term. You have to look at it against opponents' ranges and whatever, and
Yeah, I
and
mean-
ignore this one moment.
Okay, new hand.
But But nevertheless, well, we'll get back to that one. I imagine that's a crucial moment, really, in this tournament. But here we go, coming to the end of this.
I'm all in.
Where he jams with the ace, gets a snap call.
Comes
Yeah, he's got a fade the ace and he's won it.
Yeah, he came in as the chip leader, and this could be it. Yes, it is. He started as the chip leader, and he takes down this tournament, JB Toro MC, $3,300. A decent performance from him.
Well, congratulations to the Spaniard, JB Toro MC. That's his best result so far on PKR, $3,322. Schultz couldn't quite do it, 1,963, was trying to follow up on a previous Open win, couldn't quite do it. Just a quick word on when you should be shoving. I mean, you should definitely be looking to shove against people like an aggressive chip leader, but you've got to keep an eye on your fold equity, and that relates in part to the amount of chips you have behind, right? We saw Akula shove once, and did it nicely with King Jack, happened to run into the chip leader's ace queen, but still won there. But then shoved again, he had to call 75k and he had 125 behind and shoved the Jack 10. You didn't like that much purely because you've got to have a certain amount of chips behind, right?
Yeah, I mean, Jack 10 is a great hand, it flops well, it's a great hand to shove with in the right spot. But there, you're never going to get a fold and you're never going to be ahead, so it's just really a bad spot to shove.
And you're just basically going heads up with Jack high.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, a lot of the time you're going to be live or in a 60-40 situation where you can hopefully get there, but you could be locked up.
Okay, all right, well, congratulations again to the winner, and from me and Scott, we'll see you next time.